I think there should be a balance so that the athlete also know how to live their life. You can't just be spoon-fed all the time. We want athlete to be someone like in Kenya or Uganda.
They really put in the effort.
Yeah, they don't even have all the sophisticated facilities.
Simplify life, amplify wellness. Welcome to the Back to Basic podcast. My name is Paresh. I'm the founder and CEO of Engage Life, and I will be your host for this podcast. With over 12 years of experience in the wellness and health and fitness industry, I've seen how complex things can be, and that's why we created Engage Life to make things simple, to have actionable steps, and most important, make wellness achievable. And we are at episode 3 today, and today's a special one because it's in conjunction with International Women's Day, and we will be diving into a topic: empowering women, conquering bias and skepticism around female leaders, with our very special guest. With that being said, strength, resilience, grit, these aren't just words. They define the journey of every woman who have fought for their place in the world and who have defied all expectation and who have choose to rise. And as we celebrate this very, very special day, International Women's Day, we strip it back to the basic and what it truly means to be strong, to be well, and to take control of our own health and life. Because let's be real, women aren't just balancing work, family, and responsibility. They are also shaping the future of our world. And yet, in the process, their own well-being can be compromised or often taken the backseat. And this change happens today. And I couldn't think of a better guest to have today, to have this conversation. And this woman actually embodies strength and perseverance herself. And she's not only Malaysia's own track and field legend, Noraseela Mohd Khalid, she's also a 4-time SEA Games medalist and also an Olympian and trailblazer, mentor and advocate in sports and health herself. So without further ado, welcome to the pod, Noraseela.
Thank you very much, Paresh and the team, for having me today. Thank you.
Looking forward to the conversation. So what we want to start with a very simple intro with you. I think we want to get our audience to also know you a bit more. Maybe you can share a bit about yourself to us.
Simple to share. I am Noraseela Mohd Khalid. I represented Malaysia since school level, 15 years old, and came up to international level.
Right.
The first one was SEA Games, and lastly the Olympic Game 2012. And now I'm involved in lots of organizations, society, and I'm a coach. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for your contribution. Where did you grow up, Noraseela? Remind me asking you.
I was born in Penang, Pulau Pinang.
Oh, I see.
But never stayed there. My dad is from Kedah. My mom from Pakistan, Lahore.
Oh, I see.
Was born just next to the prison. Yeah. That's all what I know. At the island,
Right.
But we all stay in KL and Selangor. Yeah.
Selangor. So you didn't grow up in Penang lah. So tak ada slang utara and stuff like that.
Kalau nak buat boleh.
Oh,
Hang
okay.
apa khabar?
Alright, that's good. And I think growing up in family environment, your mom is from Pakistan. Is there any woman who really inspire you in your life, throughout your sports journey or even in your daily day-to-day life?
Well, to be specific, in sport, I would say actually all my family members,
Right.
the ladies, my dad is actually the one loves sports so much. He will, go to all the competition I competed, never miss,
Wow.
local, and he will not to say force, he will really bring my mom together and any of my siblings. And actually I would say the one that inspired me the most is my own peers, my own friend, and those who competed with me. They are the one that inspire me to do better. to compete. And the one that inspired me the most is myself.
Yes, I was about to ask that as well.
It's always myself. I always say to my, every time I finish a race, I always say, this is not good enough.
Right.
And I managed to inspire myself to be a better athlete.
I think it's important as well because a lot of people, they reflect outside, they look for a role models, but they forgot in the engineering, right?
Yes.
To look inwards and to find that kind of inspiration, because we are all in the world for a purpose, right? So, what is your purpose? I think maybe running you have found the purpose in running, right? And you have found that deep connection within yourself, and you always say, hey, I want to challenge myself more. And how does that mentality, help you across your life?
I would say I'm one of the person that is very strict to myself. Seriously,
Right.
when it's about competing, even training, I mean, I'm very strict to myself to the extent that I will cry if I miss one training session. Serious, because those days when we are young, our coaches who were from Russia.
You were from Russia?
That's my first international coach.
Wow.
Edwin Ozolin. I will always remember all my coaches' name and their personality. They will drive all the way from Majlis Sukarnegara National Sport Council, fetch all the athletes at school and also during my university days. With a van.
Wow, so dedicated.
Yes, and bring us to training ground. And if I late just 1 minute or 2 minutes, the van will be packed. And I'll be crying.
You cannot go in and you cannot go and train, right?
Yes, and I have to make my own plan. Train at the university. Anywhere. The one thing that I would say, if I can turn back time, I should cherish a little bit more, celebrate, and give more, treat myself more,
Be grateful for that moment, right? What you have achieved and stuff like that.
But there's a reason to it because I have to be on my own most of the time. With or without coach, especially when I was coached by international coaches.
Interesting to talk about that sports field. So I feel that women's in sports and leadership is not a lot of people are talking about it, right? I think it's a topic that not many people want to dive into. But I mean, since we are here, based on your experience, where do you see the current state of women in sports these days? And what do you feel you could, in terms of improve, in terms of the sports scene for women?
Well, if you look at the background, our first woman participated in Olympic game is 1956.
Oh wow!
Miss Annie. The late Miss Annie Chong. She passed on last year.
Bless her.
Yes, bless her. Yes, and for the Olympic game, the first woman participated in Olympic game is 19,000. And that was only 2%. And last year, Paris, it's really great. We reached the gender parity, 50%.
Wow, congrats!
So it takes a long time to really, encourage women to get involved in sport, participate, and compete at that highest level.
And what would you say the sports mentality and mindset, the importance of it for women as well? Not only for women, for everyone. How do you feel that shapes leadership as well?
Well, I think we should believe that our women, especially local, our girls, they can actually participate and do better in sport. There are a lot of opportunities nowadays, not just being an athlete, but it can be another role, like be a coach, be into the management, sport management, leadership. There's a lot of opportunity, but of course there's always a challenge. Yes. And I'm very, very proud of our own athlete. When we talk about women today, Pandalela Renong, she got the first medal, Olympic medal for Malaysia, 2012. That was the time I competed in Olympic London.
Oh, wow,
I took the the chance to really hug her at the closing ceremony. It's a proud moment. Yeah.
True, that's true. Just to remind our user, what Olympics was that?
It was London 2012.
2012
Yes.
Olympics. Wow.
And then that was the start for women. And then you get Jung Hong and Panarela get another medal.
Yeah.
The
That's like
coming years.
following year, yeah.
And then our double badminton female, Go Li.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really great, to see women step up and they get medal at that highest level.
Yeah, exactly. And then they get the recognition needed because there's a lot of sacrifice, like you mentioned, that discipline, that structure and the sacrifice and the man's mindset and the willingness to, contribute for the country as well. So yeah, I think it's quite a well-deserved recognition for them in terms of their effort.
Yes, of course. It's a huge pride to represent Malaysia. Yeah, but firstly, we need to understand we are represent ourselves.
Yeah,
we are representing ourselves, and it's a pride to represent a country, Malaysia, peaceful country.
Yeah, exactly. And since we're talking about the topic of sports and leadership, you yourself, this is according to our research, is actually the first female president of Malaysian Olympian or MOA. So maybe can you tell us a bit about what you do and what inspired you to take up this position and how is your journey so far?
Well, Malaysia Olympian Association was established 2001 and it was headed by Tan Sri Alagendra at the time. And they tried their best to do all the activities and program, of course. And then there was some stumbling. And Datuk Karu Sewaratnam was the president 2016. And at that time, I was the vice president. So I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from all the senior Olympian. To me, it's a privilege and really great things happen when you actually into this kind of organization. You meet all the senior people. You share, you listen to them, how they go through and so on. It's really good to get to know them and learn something from them. And then Karu let go of the position. He don't want to carry on with the position. He encouraged me to take up the position, and I took it. Although at that time I was working in Sarawak, and it was a tough time for all of us. It was pandemic, the COVID pandemic.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you took over during that duration.
Exactly. Yeah. But we managed to do. We still managed to do some activities and program that is actually meaningful for the members.
Yeah. And speaking about MOA, maybe for the users' understanding, maybe you can tell us a bit about what MOA actually does.
Malaysia Olympian Association is like any other association, alumni association,
Okay.
The member consists of all the Olympian participated at the Olympic game, winter and also summer. And the program that we normally do is to inspire the young one. Like last year we did Be the Next Olympian.
Very nice, yeah.
Yes, we went to 3 schools and 1 university. So it impacted about 1,700 people.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah.
So, and also we don't just invite the Olympians to be the speaker, but we also invite the former national athlete. We must understand the number is very small.
Right. So what is the number then?
We only try to guess, Paresh. Have a good guess. How many Olympian they are in Malaysia?
I won't lie, I already know the numbers, so I'll maybe let you mention it.
Well, it's
around 300 over, right?
You're right. You're almost there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Last year, the new edition of the Olympian is only 15. Yeah.
15 only?
Only 15.
So is this including the Paralympians you're talking about?
No, it's separate. No? It's totally a different organization. So only 15. So it comes to a total of 360.
So you were telling me that since the day Malaysia competed in Olympics until now, we only have 300 over athletes.
300 over, yes.
Right.
The first time we participated is 1956, and that was Malaya, yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That time we didn't form, yeah.
Yeah, the first time we were Malaysia is 1964 in Tokyo, yeah. So now the number is still small. To run an organization with this small number, it's not very easy, of course.
And as a leader, I mean, now you have already take up the position as a leader. Do you face like any challenges or any doubts or skepticism about your capabilities, or anyone like kind of doubt you in terms of your position?
I would lie if I say everything is smooth sailing. Everything is great. Yeah. Whether there is any doubt and so on, I'm not sure. I have to ask people around me. Yeah. But honestly, I can work with all the people. Yeah. But you need to understand, everyone has their own character. Yeah.
Agree.
Everyone has their own priorities. And responsibility. So as long as we respect each other, and as long as we give opportunity and chance to people to join the association,
right,
and learn something, that's already good enough. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. I think that thing that you mentioned about respect is very important, because it's a give and take thing, right?
Yes.
And it's important as a leader to also give the opportunity to other people to come in, give feedback, as well as keeping that environment very, very respectful. And as a leader, it's not really easy. I think leaders require a lot of mental resilience as key in terms of a leadership. So what does mental health play a role in terms of a leadership journey, and how do you think, is there enough support for women out there and also leaders out there in terms of their mental well-being?
Of course, mental well-being is very, very important. We ourselves need to take care of. There is no one else can take care of you but yourself, you know. But unfortunately, of course, these days you see the rate of suicide increase. You see a lot of adversity happen to people. People at war, looking at the war going on in Palestine, in Ukraine, and so many other countries are suffering. And these people who are suffered are women. Especially
women and children mainly. Correct.
And children. And to me, I think mental well-being is really, really important. And firstly, we need to take care of ourselves. We cannot expect other people to help you if you don't approach them, if you don't ask for assistance and help when you have challenges, when you have this difficulty. You need to act as soon as possible.
And we were talking about mental well-being as an athlete during your Olympian days. I had a conversation with you talking about the starting line. When you were in the starting line during the Olympics, how was that feeling? You told me a lot of people ask you that same question. So maybe our listener also wants to know, in terms of how do you cope with your mental resilience as an athlete. At that particular time, you have so many limelight, you have so many people looking at you, so many years of discipline, of practice, sacrifice. So how did you overcome this, and how did you had a very good mental health journey along the way?
Well, unfortunately, my participation in Olympic Game 2012 was at the end of my career.
Right.
I mean, it's really a bless, and I'm thankful for being part at the Olympic Game. People always say it's once in a lifetime.
Exactly.
If the opportunity come, you better grab it.
You better go.
And just do your best. That's it. That's exactly what happened to me. I wasn't in the great shape. I was having a lot of injuries at that time. I was at the end of my career, no doubt about that. But it came to this opportunity. I was selected, two best athletes to represent Malaysia at that time, because there were no athlete qualified. So they have to name 2 best athlete, and they name me for all my contribution to Malaysia since 1999. Participated in various games.
Wow, 1999.
Yeah,
Wow.
SEA Games. Some of you are not even born yet. See, yeah. You know, 1999, the first SEA Game I took part in Brunei, and then Asian Game, World Championship. So many, you know, and it is like an honor. To represent an honor that the association recognized that, and they put my name forward.
And then how did you cope up in terms of the mental health and all during that time? Must be so much of pressure around it.
Again, like I said earlier, I always give pressure, unnecessary pressure. I knew it already. My condition, my body condition was not in the best ever. The race wasn't that great, of course, but I finished the race. And then I was very, very sad. Sold myself, in the room. I don't want to go out and things like that. But after 2 days, I told myself, this is not worth it. You should enjoy the game. You should go out, and
really soak it in, right?
So what I did was I go out from the game village, go to the track, meet all the gold medalists.
Oh wow, it's some motivation as well.
Meet all the gold medalists, take pictures, just a healing for me. In a way, it's a healing for me, and I try to enjoy myself. And at that moment, I am enjoying myself. In fact, I went to the closing ceremony and I met my
idol.
Kind of like idol, a fan, Felix Sanchez in 400 meter hurdle, and he won gold medal at that time. That was really a great moment. And of course, Pandalela, big hug for her at the closing ceremony.
Our local hero, And then since we are talking about leadership, we're talking about athletes and all, I know you also train a lot of athletes. Besides just being a leader, you are a coach as well. And what is the perception of a female as athlete these days? I mean, the younger female athletes, the upcoming one, and what do you feel is the biggest challenge in terms of, whether they have enough support, what are the things that, whether the family actually, give them enough push, or, they give enough permission for them to do sports. So how is it now compared to before?
I think before is like in the afternoon, you can just go out and play with your friends. Am I right? You climb the trees.
Correct.
You do all sorts. You play guli. We call it guli. You play all things.
Probably some of the users here, the listeners probably won't be.
Yes. But these days, everything is kind of like formalized. You want to go out, you have to go somewhere to play. One is to play, and you have to go somewhere to train. And then only it will decide whether or not you can be an athlete. I mean, not to say an athlete, athlete for school, athlete for your district, state, and country. There's too many formalizing these days. You're not really open like those days. You want to play, let's play. On the grass.
Too much structure, so bad lah, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I still feel the new generation of athletes, they are very fortunate. Fortunate in a way that they've been provided almost everything.
I mean, accessibility wise lah, right? Accessibility to sports, the equipments, the coaches, the knowledge.
Yes, I mean, once you are at the national level, you will be given all this support. But if you go elsewhere, like places I've been to, club that I represented in Germany and also South Africa, you don't see this. You don't see this. I think there should be a balance, so that the athlete also know how to live their life. You can't just be fat, spoon fed all the time. But we want athlete to be really someone like in Kenya or Uganda. They
really put in the effort.
They don't even have all the sophisticated facilities. But they still world champ, an Olympic champ. Sometimes we need that balance. Because at the end of the day, we want our people, our athletes, to also live after sport life.
Exactly,
That is important.
And that hunger is very important, lah, right?
Definitely. When you are given everything, the hunger will, fade away. Yeah,
Exactly.
you are comfortable. You need to be hungry all the time. Yeah, and at the same time, you want to improve. Yeah, you want to gain something out of your effort. Yeah.
And I like the word you mentioned in terms of improvement. I think not only for women, everyone should be taking time to self-improve themselves, looking at themselves in terms of yearly, monthly, and even daily. So, I'm improving on a daily basis. In terms of that, since we're talking about women's, the younger generation these days and stuff like that, what do you feel when women come in sports? What do you feel is the challenges that they face in terms of health? Or simply like how can they navigate this issue?
In terms of health, everyone face some issue with health. Doesn't matter you're a woman or man. For women, I don't really see that as an issue, big issue. Yeah,
Right.
there's always way to overcome any health consequences you are facing. Yeah, but most of the time, what you will hear for girls, females, when they are in sport, they will have all this period cramping. Yeah, like they will, injury wise is the same. Everyone will get injured. It's part of athlete's life. But with this period, cramping and so on, is something that the girls have to learn as well, how to, manage that, especially when they have to compete. Yeah. And some athlete, they have no choice but to take painkiller at the moment that they need to compete. Yeah. So the consultation and advice from, of course, the qualified doctors, physician, and so on, it's really important because they need to know what they are taking into their body and how do they cure themselves, and at the same time they can train and compete without any discomfort.
So nutrition is also plays a key important role.
Oh, definitely. What you eat is what you get, and what you eat will affect you. Yes.
And I feel like when you mentioned about overall, there's no like specific issues that women face in terms of health, besides some period cramps when you're playing sports and stuff. But I think overall as a female population, I think what are the health challenges that usually you face, and how do you overcome it?
Those days, the first woman participated in Olympic Games 1900. Yeah, one of the reasons why people are not very keen into women getting into sport and so on, they believe that it will deteriorate the health of women, especially for having babies. Yeah, their health, body wise, and so on, internally specifically. But it is proven it is actually not. Yeah, women need to be active.
Exactly.
They need to be active in terms of health. Yeah. Sometimes when we talk about being an athlete, it's not just about being a champion. It's also about health in general and fitness. You need to be fit. You need to be healthy to live long. And nowadays we know also the rate of people living is going high.
Right.
People getting old. We're
aging population.
High number of aging population. So one of the important thing in life is also to take care of ourselves. Health
in terms of our own health, right?
Yeah, health is priority. Yeah.
And okay, I think we covered quite a lot in the podcast, and one of the key things we see in terms of stats wise, because since we are talking about athletes and stuff, one of the key things that we have the misconception. Just now you mentioned about if women go into sports, then they will get injury. They cannot labor properly, and we see not only that, but a study by Vitality UK found that only 19% of women in their 20s actually exercise or engage in exercise at least 5 times a week, compared to 27% of women aged 40 to 59 years old, which means people are doing more lah at an older age. Yeah. And then you can also see that younger women often cite that body image concern and mental health issue as a barrier to actually go into physical activity. So you see the modern generation are facing these kind of barriers in terms of even starting a workout. So based on these studies, it shows that many women actually stop sports or structured fitness due to many things like work, family, social expectation, and all these kind of stuff like body image, mental health concern, and stuff like that. So what can be done to help all of them?
Well, it's easier when you have that structured, when you are in a system, as an athlete, you have all your plan works out by your coach. You have all the support, you have the facilities right in front of you, it's easy. But once you are out from that system as an athlete, you have to look for all this, and it's not easy. Yeah, especially just a normal working mother or normal working female, you need to make time. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah,
to prioritize, right?
Yes, you need to manage your time. You go to work, and then you have children to take care of. You have all other responsibility as well. How do you put that maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes or even 1 hour of exercise? Yeah, it's not easy, but it's something that
needs to be done.
We all need to make this as one of our priority. Yeah. And I understand now. I'm not an athlete. I keep on giving excuses. Okay, I'll do it later. I'll do it some other time. But now what I figure out, and as an athlete also, I feel really discomfort if I don't do sport, if I don't exercise. So I will make sure I exercise. But once I start, I cannot stop. The addiction is always there. It's still there,
Because it is built in you, right?
Yeah, so it's a matter of you take the tiny step, start doing it. If you're not comfortable doing it alone, go and do it with someone. Yeah. And if you still not gonna achieve that, go to organized places, a gym, a group of training group, or anywhere that actually provide this. Sometimes people just need exercise and socialize. This combination will attract people.
Yeah, I think fantastic that you mentioned. I think one of the key trends that we see across the next 10 years will be the social wellness part, especially with the new generation coming into the workplace. I think social wellness has been a key component because after COVID, we all learned that, we are actually social creatures.
Of course. Of course. You don't, it's just so strange if you live alone. We are social. We are human, but we need to live with other people and our surrounding. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic that you mentioned that, and also I like the point that you highlight this now. That for women out there or anyone out there, to be really honest, you first thing is you need to prioritize that time. Make that time. Make sure you prioritize that time, and then if you can get someone to support you or a support system around you or community around you, and you mentioned the very last thing is to get a structure or a coach or a place where you feel you can learn and you can grow comfortable. Yes. Because some people go to the places that they don't feel safe. They feel that I'm just going to go here and do the treadmill, and I'm just going to not sure what to do, and that motivation goes off after a couple of months.
Choices are out there. So many. So many. They can choose. If one time they go to this one place and they don't like it just because of the vibe, environment and so on, step out of it. Don't immediately just be a membership. That's sometimes a mistake.
And so many options, exactly. You mentioned now you can even buy credits and you go try out different gyms as well. So fantastic. We covered quite a bit in terms of how do we help people put in place kind of a priority in terms of making health and wellness as an important aspect in their life, right? And you yourself, a broken barrier as a leader in your sports and stuff. How is your routine like? I mean, you are a coach, you are also a president of an association. How is your own routine like? What do you do to take care of your health and well-being?
Well, I have to be honest. Sometimes it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. I have to really work on it. Yeah. As a coach, yes, it's great. You can meet this young athlete. You meet other coaches. Yeah. And you have your own schedule. You know already what time to what time you're coaching. But being a coach is not just about being present, be at the field of training, and field of game. Yeah. But it's also about how you want to make a plan. Yeah. And then afterward, how you want to improve the athletes. Yeah. How you want to progress this training group and so on. Yeah. And being in a position, is a privilege, of course, but a huge responsibility. And accountability. I make sure that I do the right thing. But at the same time, authentic is really important to me. Be simple, authentic. Try to be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be
someone else,
or you know everything. It's not necessary. As a leader, it's not necessary you should know everything. You have all the other people that should help you. You have your secretary, you have your treasurer, you have your vice president. It's easy for me to say all this, but it depends on how active they are as well. In such organization, there's no guarantee that things are easy, that people will step up. People will give you their views and opinion. So you have to make sure how to move the organization forward, with or without people that should be with you, But I understand now, being in a sports association, Sport association is different. Organization like Malaysia Olympian Association is different. It's tough because all these are basically voluntary. It's a volunteered position, and it is by nomination, election, or appointed. So I'm blessed. I'm being elected. Appointed. In various positions. I believe it's because people see something in me. It's not just because just put her there.
They put her there,
No, there's something that people see in you that you deserve in that
to be
position.
there. And you mentioned about leaders and stuff like that. How do you, as a leader, how do you encourage more women or people to take up leadership role in all the aspects? As coaching, as trainers, as probably one day be a MOA president, for female. So how do you as a leader encourage that?
We also need to understand women has so many responsibilities. Yes. And sometimes they just want to be perfect in everything they do. They are so detailed. Women can be very detailed. Men, they can be very simple. Boleh jalan lah. Asalkan benda berlaku.
Correct.
As long as things happen, there's something going on. What I would say is just try it out. Get involved, little thing. Little small thing. And sometimes it's just a matter of how you encourage this woman. Like we recently have annual general meeting, MOA, and I invited young athletes to also get involved.
Join.
So I have Junie from sailing. She's actually based in Langkawi. So she said, I don't know this, I don't know how to do this, and so on. I said, it's all right. Are you willing to learn? She said, yes. I'm willing to learn. That is all. As long as you're willing to learn and get involved, that's already good enough to me. But again, come to the facts that we cannot give much expectation. When you are in this kind of organization, when you have the resources, When you have the people, when you have ideas and collaboration, then you can achieve something. Yeah, organizing program or activities and so on. Yeah.
Fantastic. So for women out there, and the younger generation of athletes, don't miss the chance. Start small. Get yourself involved in something, and you never know. One day you'll be like Noraseela.
Ooh, yes, why not?
Yes.
Yeah, and there are so many other women out there that you can be idolizing. There are so many mentor out there. Yeah, they are willing to share. They are willing to share, and they want you to improve. Yeah, not just being an athlete, but being a person. Yeah.
Fantastic. We are coming close to the end of the pod, and I just want to ask you this question. Is there any advice you would give for women in terms of taking care of their own health and well-being, whether they are athlete or they are just mom at home? I think you mentioned a couple of stuff already. So one piece of advice you would give, what would that be?
We are all facing the same thing. Just be honest and be authentic. Yeah. And make sure the love is around you. Yeah. And you are happy. Yeah. That is very important, internally and externally. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So work on yourself, basically. Yeah. Work on yourself. And the word that you use is very important. I think it's a very nice word to use in International Women's Day. I think when we talk about women, it brings me a smile or a happiness when I think about my mom, my wife, right? So I think that happiness needs to be not only external, and for women itself need to be happy, and we as men need to play that role is also to take care of them as well, to make sure that happiness starts in their house and also starts within them. Yeah. So I think fantastic that you cover most of the stuff. And if we are having this conversation 10 years from now, what is the big dream you would have, and what are the changes you would want to see in women in Malaysia?
We already have sport minister as a woman, twice, why not a higher position, a prime minister?
Yeah, why not, right? Yeah,
why not a prime minister? But of course, we know our constitution, our bylaws. But my dream is just women keep striving. Keep striving, not just as an athlete, but strive to reach your goal, your dream. No one can decide that. Only yourself.
Fantastic. Yeah. So women out there, just go out and chase your dreams, and never let anyone stop you as well. Yeah. So let's wrap up this session. We just want to also give you this opportunity to also talk a bit about any sorts of business, any sorts of exciting new projects, or something that you are passionate about to our listeners. You have 15 seconds to promote or say something to our listeners. 15 seconds, and your time is now.
Well, I always have a dream setting up my own company. The name is Grigora Asia, and it's to consult people in sport, do training to athletics, sprint and hurdle, and modern pentathlon. You want to know more about modern pentathlon? You should reach out to me. And also go to the website, International UIPM, yes.
So if the listeners here, how do they find you, and how do they get in and be in touch with you if they need some sort of training, coaching services? How do they get in touch with you?
You guys go to Engage Live, contact them. I'll be traveling them now. You can go to my Facebook. You can go to my Facebook, message me. Just type my name, my full name, and you write to me. Because I'm still developing the Grigora Asia. Hopefully
Fantastic.
Soon the website will be there, so people can just go ahead there. To find more information.
I'm wishing you the best as well, and it was a pleasure having you in our podcast today. And to our listeners, this just isn't just a conversation about sport. It's talking about how can you take action in terms of your health, breaking barriers, and also supporting each other. I would like to take this opportunity to wish all women happy International Women's Day, and let's continue to break barriers, take challenges, and also strive to be the best version of ourselves. Simplify life, amplify wellness. Catch you in the next podcast.
This podcast is brought to you by Engage Life. Looking to elevate your wellness? Discover community, rewards, coaching, programs, and events, all in one platform. Your wellness journey starts here. Download the Engage Life app today. Available on Google Play Store and Apple App Store.